I'm going to try to draw it up here so you can see the difference between what each one does, because they all have a different purpose and they are all important. Today, Christa and I are really going to help you work on the vision piece, but I think it's important to know what the other pieces are, so you know how they all fit together in the puzzle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so your overarching, if you want to say it's like the sky, that's your purpose. Okay, that's the big picture of your life. That's like what is overarching over everything you do of your life and why you're here on this big blue ball. Then you have, work with me guys, I'm not an artist. What is that supposed to be?
That's peaks and valleys. That's pretty good.
So this is kind of like the horizon. Okay, you can actually see into the horizon, right? You can see ahead of you. And this is your vision. Your vision is something in the future. It's always out there in front of you. If you see the horizon and you start walking toward it, what happens to that horizon? Do you ever reach it?
No.
No.
It just keeps going.
It's always out there in front of you. It always drives you forward, right? You never actually attain it. Do you get that?
Yeah.
So your purpose, well, let me go through what they are and then we'll say what each one answers. And then you have the pathway that you're on to get to that horizon, to get to that vision. That's more of your mission. Okay, this is the pathway. I see the horizon, I know where I'm going. This is the way I'm going to get there. That's your mission statement. And then the thing on the bottom of all that is like your bedrock, your foundation, that's your core values. Okay, this is the bedrock of it all. So this is the overarching purpose. This is your sky. This is the ground that you're on, your core values. Okay, now we get goals mixed up a lot of times with purpose and vision. And goals are very different. Goals are actually just landmarks. They're things that are attainable. Okay? They're milestones. And what you want to do eventually is have all your goals line up with this so that what you're trying to accomplish and can actually achieve are in line with your vision and your purpose. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so in the beginning, when we sit down with someone and we get them started in the business, often we focus on this because it's short term, it's attainable, and it's something they can work toward and get a sense of accomplishment. But you now, as a leader, how many of you here are business builders? Do you know that you're now a leader? The minute you signed on that dotted line and said, I'm going to do this as a business, you became a leader. Now, how many of you have a downline? Okay, so now you have to be a leader in action. And the more you can articulate your vision, which is what we're going to go through in this exercise, the more people will be attracted to you. It's one of the most important things you can do as a leader is establish your vision so that people will follow you. So what purpose answers, the question that purpose answers in your business or in your life is why. Why do you exist? Again, you can apply this to you personally or to your Life Force business. And usually you want them to be pretty congruent. If not, you're going to be uncomfortable. Okay, but why are you here? Why is your organization here? Why is your Life Force business in existence? Why were you put on this planet? The vision answers the question, so what? So what? Okay, so I know why you're here. So what? What are you going to do about it? What difference are you going to make? Okay? The mission, am I going too fast?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Tiffany Rose. Got it, right? Is that right? Okay. The mission answers the question what we do. This is what we do. We do this to accomplish this. Okay? So your mission statement is what we do to reach our vision, to work toward our vision. And then the core values answer the question how. How do we do that? You know, these are non-negotiable. These are like the bedrock of who you are. And you want to have your mission statement follow your core values, and you want what you're doing to be in line with why you're doing, what you're doing. So what? What's your purpose? What's your overall reason why? Do you see how these all tie together?
Yeah.
Okay, good. But if I don't have this, and all I have is my goals, how far am I going to get in my business? Because, okay, let's just say my first goal is to get my product paid for. Okay, that's done. Now what? Now I'm kind of floundering, aren't I? I mean, I don't have a purpose anymore. I don't have a reason. So your goals are great, but your vision has to be established. And as a leader, if you can take the time, and that's what the exercise I love that we're going to run you through, is going to help you articulate this. This is pretty easy to articulate. Most people know what their goals are. I want to get out of debt. I want to travel. I want to, these are accomplishable things. This is always out there. It's kind of like your North Star. You're never really going to reach it, but it guides your vision, it guides your steps. Does that make sense? The vision. Yep. So, any questions on this before we move on? Does this help you visualize the reason for each one and how they play together?
Yes.
Good. Good. Okay, Christa, let's go through.
Okay, so we're gonna hone in on this piece, the vision piece. And one of the things that is so vital to being a leader is to have a very, very clear vision, as clear as you can get it. The name of this breakout is have your vision fill a stadium. How do you do that? How do you have your vision fill a stadium? Think of the people whose vision filled a stadium or fills a stadium. Dr. Martin Luther King filled a stadium with his vision, right? Why? Why was that so powerful?
People believe in his purpose.
People believed in his purpose, yes. But for me, what I see in that is not just what he was saying, it was who he was being. Mm-hmm. He was being his vision. Yeah?
Yeah.
And in order for him to be his vision, it had to be so clear that people could just magnetize. Yeah? You become, the more you can connect to your vision, the clearer your vision is, the more attractive you become. Not personality-wise, but attractive in a magnetic sense. Yeah? So that's the purpose of this, is to start that process or to move you a bit further along in that process. So we're going to start by just dropping into ourselves. And oftentimes we don't take the time to do this. So just for now, if it helps to close your eyes, I would suggest that we do that, because I know for me, it just helps me to focus inward. You don't have to do that, but it's a very helpful tool just to help us focus inwards. We're going to use our imagination this morning, just for a few minutes, to get the process going. And so I want you to imagine, if you could see the most powerful expression of you, just imagine what that would be like. What would you be doing? Who would you be in that imagining? What would your life look like? What you're doing is not your voice. We all have an inner voice. If that inner voice is telling you you should be something or you should be doing something, that is somebody else's voice, it's not yours. So move past that one. What else is in there? What's in your heart? Your heart really knows the truth. What would you love to do? Who would you love to be? What are you longing for? ready, you can open your eyes and bring your attention back to the room. And have a blank sheet of paper in front of you, or a blank screen in front of you. And without thinking and censoring anything that's there, start writing down words, phrases, pictures, anything that comes out on that piece of paper. Doesn't matter what it is. We just want concepts, words, phrases, pictures, whatever is just wanting to get out on that piece of paper. Doesn't have to be whole sentences, we're just looking for words right now. And just keep on writing. If you get stuck, ask yourself some of those questions. What are my deepest values? What do I want to do? What am I good at? What do I love doing? If I could be anything, what would it be? And there may be words that don't even make a lot of sense. That's okay. Just get them down there. Cover the page, if you can. You want as many words, phrases, concepts, ideas, pictures as you can get down on that piece of paper. Brainstorm with yourself. Today, that's fine. This is the beginning. This is just the first step. So what we want you to do now, and you may have some other things, just keep writing, if things come up, just put it on paper, is to look at what you've written. Look at the words, look at the phrases, look at the list of words that you've got down there, and pick the ones that are most important. The ones that really jump out at you. There'll be some things you wrote down that you look at it and you go, oh, that's not as important as that. So you can cross out the ones that are not as important. And if you want to go back to them later, that's fine. But just for the purposes of this exercise today, we want to bring out the things that, you know what, I cannot not live my life without that.
They're non-negotiable. You have to have that.
And again, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter whether it's a thing, whether it's a feeling, that's irrelevant.
Are we trying to get down to a certain number? Like how many of those things can we pick in that category?
No.
Yeah, no, not really.
Okay.
No set number. Just as you look back over your list, if you have 25, 30 words and you realize that some of them you could live without, they're not as important as the others. And for some people, it's easier to circle the ones that they can't live without. Just circle the ones that just really pop out to you, like that is important, that is who I am, that is my life. Then circle those if that makes it easier than crossing off.
So, what we're trying to do is get to the the really important pieces of all of those words that you just wrote down. So, did you just circle or somehow bring out the ones that were important on that list that you just wrote down? Or crossed off the ones that weren't quite as important? Did you do that piece, Rosie?
Just, I feel like I wrote down just a lot of different ways of saying the same thing.
That's okay. Some ways are going to be more powerful to you than other ways. So pick the ones that really resonate with you and make a list of those. Yeah?
So in essence, what you're doing is condensing the original list. Okay. So if you've had 20 words on the first list, now maybe you have 11, 15. Narrow it down.
This is how we want to be, or is it, will the words?
It's just important. It's just words that are meaningful to you. It's not complete sentences yet. It's just words, word pictures, phrases, things that resonate with you.
It's
Like
not, it's,
caring, is that one?
Caring,
Yes,
absolutely.
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 mm-hmm.
Shall I have your second list now pretty much completed? Okay. Now what we want you to start doing is putting some of them together in sentence fragments. Okay, it doesn't have to be complete thought yet. You'll get to that. But right now, just take those words that you have made a new list with that are really, really important to you, that really resonate with you, and start putting them together in fragments, sentence fragments or thoughts.
Phrases.
And phrases. And you can kind of change, if you had it down as an adjective, maybe now you're making it an adverb because you're putting it with, the verb caring, and now you're going to put another word in front of that is an adverb. I'm not trying to have a grammar class here, but I'm just saying you can change the the tense of the word, or so that you start putting them together. And you can mix it around. If you have 3 words and you think these 3 words are going to go together well, just write different ways of grouping those words together.
Kind of cool how it works.
What's
Yeah,
that?
it's just word groups. Just put them together.
Start putting some word groups
And
together.
don't try and work it out in your
No,
head.
Don't try to figure. Yep.
It's more of an impulsive exercise than anything else.
Put it together.
And it may not even make sense right now. That's okay. We don't need it to make sense.
Not quite yet. Just try to put, because we will get to that.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a group that's really sticking out to you, go ahead and put it together a while. But most people do it more easily just by starting to put pieces together that sound good together. And when you take this exercise home, if there's a word that you have that you like, but you feel like it's not quite, there's a word I feel like there's a better word out there to describe this, but this is all I can think of now, you can always grab a thesaurus when you get home and look it up in there. Thesauruses are great for sometimes honing in on a word that's more succinct. Starting to get a piece of this? Starting to get it a little bit? Starting to see it? Okay. Okay, so do you have that done? Do you have sentence fragments? Yes? Yes? Or just give me a show of hands if you got that piece done. Because we don't want to rush you too much, but unfortunately, this exercise can take weeks and we're doing it in 50 minutes, okay? So we'll just kind of do it more quickly today, but you can take this home and work on it then in your private office or home. So now what you want to do is start taking those fragments that you have and trying to put them into complete thoughts. And it can be one long sentence, or it can be 2 medium sentences, but try to get it down to a complete thought in 1 or 2 sentences.
Does everyone understand what we're asking? Rosie, you look a little confused.
Because I started out with complete thought. Right.
Okay, great.
So, so now I already have the complete thought, and then when I was breaking, I was pulling words out of complete thoughts. But, so I don't really need to do this part since I started there. That's
I would do it anyway. You may find that it changes. I would still take the words that you have now and start putting, the ones that you pulled out, try putting them together and see what happens. It may actually shift, because I thought I was very clear on my vision, but after I did this exercise, I realized my vision was actually slightly different than what I had originally thought it was. So, even if you already have a vision, just try this anyway. You might find a deeper aspect of it, or a better way to articulate it to others.
We're trying to put them all together, or still?
The important
Yeah.
pieces.
Okay.
Yeah.
The sentence fragments that you just had in the previous piece, now try to put them together in complete thoughts. So again, you may have to change words around. You may have to make it a verb if it was an adjective or a noun. Now you're making it, instead of care, now it's caring, Or happy becomes happiness, or whatever.
That's crazy. I
What's
was
that?
just writing happiness when you said that.
Yeah. So I'm saying you can change the root word, keep the root word there, but change it around and start making complete thoughts. And if you don't quite have it, we're gonna actually walk through this with one of you, if you have one or two of you, so you can see in a real condensed version how this can be done. And it's pretty cool. Why don't we start with bringing some up and just going over
Yeah.
words and
Okay.
show them how to do
Sounds
it.
good.
What do you think?
Okay, yep. So, is there somebody who would be willing to come up and work through Shelley? Okay.
Sorry, you will get you next. Okay, go ahead. Come on up. So, tell everybody your name and where you're from. I know who you are. They may not all know.
My name is Shelley Hines. I'm living out in Western Massachusetts.
Okay, so what we're gonna have Shelley do, what you do is give me some of the beginning words from your original list. The list before you had crossed anything off. Just start giving me those words. And guys, I'm gonna write really softly, so I apologize.
Hope,
Okay?
beauty, and light.
Together, as in beauty and light, or just beauty light?
No, beauty and light.
Okay, I messed that up. Go ahead.
Joy with my man.
Joy with my man.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I like that. Go ahead.
Sustainable living.
Okay.
Empowering others to lead. So some got sense.
That's okay. This is just a complete, it's a thought. That's good. Empowering others to live or
Lead.
Lead. Okay.
Connecting people with truth.
Okay.
Meditation.
Okay.
Building a supportive, sustainable community.
Okay.
Bringing vibrant health to others.
All right. So
And
what?
fun.
Fun. Can't forget fun.
Always on my list.
All right. So, and this can go longer, guys. We're just gonna, for the purpose of this exercise, we'll stop at this. Now, were there any of these, Shelley, that you got rid of from your original list?
Yeah, because I had a few more too. I would tell you what I have. How about that? That might be easier than what I got rid of because some aren't there.
Okay. Yeah,
or
let's
like
go with the
you-
ones that you have.
Okay, joy with my man.
Okay.
Creating beauty and light.
What do I have there?
Second,
Beauty and
Oh,
light.
creating. I forgot the word
Sorry.
creating. Okay.
No, I didn't tell you that. Vibrant health, bringing vibrant health to others. Oh, I didn't say that one. Giving or doing outreach.
Okay.
Empowering others to lead.
Do you have both giving and outreach circled?
Yes.
Okay.
And
what was the other
empowering
power?
others to lead.
Okay. Okay. So you see how she now made a new list of the ones that she can't live without, the ones that really resonate with her, right? And now you're going to start putting these together in thoughts, in sentence fragments. Did you do that? Did you actually get to that part?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
kind of, I don't know if they were too fragmented because I'm kind of whatever I am. Whatever I am. So just in terms of like, they were partial sentences already, some of them, so I just like laid them out as a sentence.
Okay,
You
so
know,
what
like
did you?
Joy with my man was already a sentence type, like a
Right.
fragmented sentence. And creating beauty and light on the planet, bringing vibrant health to others, giving outreach for free and selfless service, empowering others to lead, and my own spiritual work, which I think kind of snuck in there at the last minute.
Okay, so what we wanna start doing is putting those into 1 or 2 sentences.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's what we're gonna do, and why don't we do that with the group, but it may be slightly different than what,
Sure.
what you came up with, so we'll do it as a group exercise here, okay? So, and Christa, add anything here
That's
that
fine,
you,
yeah.
that you see. Okay, so how can we start putting these together in complete sentences? Do you guys see some of this coming together? You could say,
Joy
Ah.
with my man creates beauty and light.
I'm trying to create, okay, say that again?
Joy with my man creates beauty and light. That's the first.
Just
two.
wanna read over all of them, sorry. Vibrant health.
I empower others to lead through, and joy with my man makes me give and share knowledge more, and give a vibrant health to others.
I do, but I didn't use that as the main, that was
So,
one of my services.
My vision is to empower others to lead. We have to put this together. Krista, are you seeing anything? The last one, it just jumped out at me, but
It
this
did,
one's not as
yeah.
quickly. My purpose is,
Oh, my vision.
my
So if you-
vision
Yeah, if you.
is create
if you
beauty and
use-
light through giving and outreaching to others, and let's see.
To create vibrant health for others.
Giving and outreach cre-
Um,
empowers others to lead.
Mm.
With
Empower
beauty and
others to
light.
lead vibrant, that doesn't really,
How
we can make
about-
it into
That,
2 separate
yeah.
sentences if we have to, so let's try to put,
That's what I had
let's
to
try
do.
to make it, yeah. Do you actually have these into sentences yet?
I do,
Okay, let's do it, let's see what she came up with. Go ahead, Shelley.
because I have joy with my man.
Okay,
I create beauty and light on the planet.
I create beauty and light,
Mm-hmm.
did you say on the planet? Okay, that was one complete thought,
Mm-hmm.
okay, next one.
My selfless service brings vibrant health to others.
Brings health to others.
Vibrant health to others. Brings vibrant health to others. And as I empower others to lead,
Mm-hmm.
my spiritual work
Mm-hmm.
is full.
Okay, so this is more of, let's look at this as a complete thought. Because I have joy with my man, I create beauty and light on the planet. My selfless service brings vibrant health to others as I empower others to lead. Okay, this is a new sentence.
Yeah.
You might want to actually even hone this down a little bit more
Mhm.
when you get home to 1 or 2 sentences, because now we have 3, and then as I empower others to lead, my spiritual work is full. Okay, do you see how she took all these different words and concepts and condensed it down to 3 sentences that
Yeah,
she can
I
share
didn't
with
do a
others?
period, I just put the word "and" there, which seemed to be,
Okay.
you know, like.
That's a run-on sentence, no, I'm just kidding.
You're not giving us a grammar lesson,
Grammar
though, are you?
class.
No grammar, no. Because I have, what you wanna do, and as you start saying it to others, you'll know, how to put these words together, but because I have joy with my man, I create beauty and light on the planet, and my selfless service brings vibrant health to others as I empower others to lead, my spiritual work is full. Do you see how okay, that's really clear for her, and you can see a lot of this in here, I. So, you need to have what your own vision is, but when you share with others, you can change that pronoun to, uncreated community that blah, 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 or we are doing this together. So you can encompass them also in your vision and make them feel like, yeah, that's something that I wanna be a part of, that's something that I wanna align myself with.
I mean, and not anybody's really gonna give a darn that I have a really good time with my husband, but, that's where I live, right?
Yeah,
I need to have a good time there first, and then, you know,
And you know, you could, if you feel like this is more just something for you and not
It
that the
is.
team would resonate with, you could even change some of this around. By empowering others to lead, I have joy, no, like I create beauty and light on the planet. You know, make it more of a team vision, and this is more of a personal thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you see that, guys? So you can move this around that other people can connect. If it's something that's just for you, that may not be as inspiring to others as if it's something that they can also see themselves.
So I'm just getting this right now, this isn't just for me,
Yeah.
right? This is to share with
The
others
team.
and to bring that vision, like,
Right.
yeah,
You want to
this
fill a
stadium.
stadium.
Fill a
So
stadium.
someone that doesn't have a man, like some of you men,
Oh.
or you're not married
You
or
are right.
whatever, you know, you're single, they might not be able to connect with that. So they
Sure.
might feel like, well, this is for married people, or this
Yeah, I
is for people in
didn't
a
quite
relationship.
get that it was for
That's okay.
everything, I thought it was
Yeah.
like my vision
Well, it's good to
of
have
my
both.
life,
It's
right?
good to have both.
We need both.
We
We
need
need
both,
both.
and they do cross over
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. One of the purposes, one of the main purposes for doing this exercise is so that we can more and more and more embody this as we go through our life and as we go through building our business. So we need to have it in a way that we can speak it. We need to have it in a way that we can get up in the morning and we can speak it to ourselves. We can articulate it. We can share it with somebody else. We can share it in our invitation. We can share it in our sharing with somebody else when they say, "What are you doing?"
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so just in understanding that now, then I definitely would have put community in there because
Yeah.
it is hugely important. And if I'm talking to the community, I want them to know that this is about them.
Yeah. And so that's
So
very
that
simple.
would, I would
Exactly.
take, you know,
That's
Ray
very
could
easy
move
to
to the
add that.
side,
Yeah.
Ray could go over here.
Yeah,
Community
exactly.
could come in for that
But thank
part.
you. How about giving her a hand?
Yeah.
Everything that she has on here then can direct her path. Where are we at with the picture? That picture that we drew. Okay, so if that's your vision to create for you and your team and your community, then that tell you know what you do to get there. If there's something that you've been offered to do or get distracted on and it doesn't lead you to your vision, sometimes you have to learn to say no. I know my husband's able to say no easier than I am, but how many of you women have a hard time saying no when something's asked of you? Anybody else relate to that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if I often feel if I can do it, maybe I should do it. Y'all feel that way sometimes? But
There's
if
that
it's-
word again.
Exactly. So you feel this sense of obligation to do it or guilt if you don't. Anyone ever deal with that? Or am I the only woman in the room? that
Oh,
does?
yeah.
Maybe you men do too. I'm not trying to be exclusive, but I
Yeah,
know
'cause
Robert.
women make us.
Pardon?
Women make us feel
Women
guilty about
make
it.
you feel like you should do it. Your wife is not the only one that does. That's probably very true. So, but do you see how this, and then everything you do then, your core values has to be in line with that as well. So, you know, how you do it and what you do now has to fall under that umbrella. And it really helps you hone in on where you're spending your time and who you're hanging with and, you know, what you're doing with your time in your day and in your life. Is that helpful?
Totally.
You guys see that?
Amazing.
And do you see how it can be so inspiring if you really have that down concisely in one or two complete thoughts and sentences? How that could move people to say, yeah, I can resonate with that. I want to do that. I want to go where she's going. She's going somewhere important. Because here's the thing that you need to know. Most people will never do this. You know, they have a purpose in this life, but they don't know what it is, and they've never done an exercise to get in touch with it. They don't even know what a vision is. They certainly don't have one. Their vision is just to get out of bed and go to work so they can pay the bills, so they can keep the roof over their kids' head. So when they meet someone like you that has a purpose and has a vision and it's clearly articulated, man, that's what people are yearning for. That's what people want. And I've heard statistics anywhere from 80% to up as high as 95% of Americans, or people in general, are followers. And so let's just take the conservative one, 80% are followers. That means if you are a leader and you're stepping into that thing and you have a very articulate vision and you know where you're going and you know what that horizon is, do you see how inspiring that can be for people that are followers that just go, wow, I like where she's going, I want to be part of that. And you know, this is the example I used earlier. It's meant to make a point that people with a strong vision, even if it's evil, people that will follow it just because
That's
people
right.
wanna follow something. Look at Hitler.
Hitler.
He got all of Europe to go along with his demented vision. But you know why? Because he had a purpose and people just wanna follow it. You think of all the evil people around the world, you know, so it doesn't mean, this can be used for good or evil. So the point I'm trying to make with that example is, it's because there was a vision very clearly established that people were able to just say, oh, well, he's going somewhere, so I wanna follow him. That's how much people wanna follow somebody, even if it's wrong. They just wanna follow somebody that knows where they're going. So you have a lot of power here with this. Do you see that?
Yes.
You have a lot of power and use it in a positive way to influence light and beauty in the world. And be a positive influence on people around you. And the more you can be authentic with this in your actions and what you do, you will become more and more attractive to people. That's why Martin Luther King could fill a stadium. As someone mentioned earlier, they didn't have Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff back then, and yet people found him, didn't they? They found out where he was and they flocked there by the droves. Do you want to have people flocking after you by the drove?
That's right.
Yeah, you want to fill a stadium?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. And have a dream, have a vision, and start sharing it with others. In your invitation, when people say, what do you do? Well, what I do is blah, blah, blah. And the business model I have found allows me to do that. That's why I'm so excited about the business model I have, because it allows me to complete my vision.
I just had a comment about something interesting that I found in getting my vision. I noticed that, like, I write out the beautiful words, but then I also noticed that another way of getting there was that a lot of the things that I felt like were missing in my life, like that hurt, like the hard parts of my life, were also shaping what I want to become. Like, so that's another
Absolutely.
angle of getting there, is like things that felt like I didn't have.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds obvious, but
No, I think our pain does create a passion. If we've been hurt in a certain place, we tend to make that our passion now.
Yep.
To help others, don't we? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. So that's fine. And use that as part of your vision to have that passion behind it. Do you wanna do one more person, Tiffany?
Yeah, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just wondered, Lydia, if you would share your vision. You've obviously worked on it.
I have. And this exercise was given to us just recently. Our team, Robert and I hired an executive coach, Dr. Anita. She's actually here at convention with us, and she's a licensed psychologist who specializes in working with leaders in direct sales. So this is a fairly new thing, so I don't even have it memorized yet. But I will read it to you. I came prepared in case somebody would ask me. How many, do you guys on our team, did you do this yet yourselves?
Still working on it.
Yeah.
In progress.
It takes time. It is a work in progress. And I've honed in on what I originally had. I've noticed that when I started sharing with others, I needed to tweak a couple of the words. Okay, but here it is. My life vision is to bring hope to my fellow man by serving them in a way that allows them to take ownership in creating abundant health and prosperity for themselves and their families. In so doing, I've empowered them to live their own life of freedom and purpose and to have a legacy of generosity and significance. Now, I have to get that down more that it comes out of me naturally. You know, it's still too contrived. But I have started to share some of these sentence fragments with people, and it is amazing how people respond. You know, because it sounds like, oh yeah, I want to do that. I want to leave a legacy of significance and purpose. I want to help others create freedom. So, yeah. Do we have time to do one more? Anybody else? Tiffany, I know you had your hand up. Do you want to do it? Christa, you want to walk her through it?
Sure.
That's okay. They're slightly different. Okay. Do you want to mark? Here, yeah.
So I'll start with my first list, which was skateboard, dance, teach, law,
Okay,
health.
hold on.
Chris is not as quick.
Skateboard.
Skateboard dance.
Dance.
Law, health,
Law.
LIW?
LAW,
Right.
health,
Health.
love, nature,
Love. Nature.
stop war, manifest, facilitate, cook,
Facilitate.
share,
Yes, on.
live art, forward thinking, freedom, invent, farming.
Very good.
Okay,
Very good.
all right. So, what were, sorry, I'm going back to everyone. So, what were the words that really stood out for you?
Teach, skate, dance, sing, I ended up adding on. Farming, facilitating, save nature.
That's a new
That
one.
was a new one. That was nature or something about
Nature.
each other.
Yep.
And then that was my smaller list.
Okay, all right then,
Good.
great.
I honed that down to through teachings and developing skateboarding, dance, and song, I will facilitate the space to save nature.
Okay, say that again,
Through teaching and developing skateboarding,
and
dance,
developing skateboarding,
uh-huh,
developing,
song, and dance.
skateboarding, song and dance.
I want to see you do the song and dance on the skateboard.
I do it all.
Yeah. I can imagine.
I will facilitate the space to save nature and humankind. Facilitate the space to save nature and humankind.
Nature and okay. Okay, great. So say that to everyone like you mean it.
Through teaching and developing song, dance, and skateboarding, I want to facilitate the space to save the world, nature, and humankind.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Okay, do you guys see how when you articulate this to people, if someone's a skateboarder or a dancer, do you think they're going to want to be part of her team?
Yep.
Now, what if I'm not a skateboarder or a dancer? Can I still be part of your team?
You can, but
Learn. You'll have to learn. But what I was going to say is if you feel like you have a piece that is more specific to you and you don't want to eliminate others, then you can change it, modify it slightly for the team. You know, that's your personal, and that's very
So I can just leave the skateboarding, song, and dance through teaching and developing. I can facilitate the space.
Well, and you will attract the group that likes the skateboarding and the dance. Like that, I would definitely share that with people that's going to resonate with. Because you could end up having a whole community of skate, just like the yoga. You know,
I actually made my own nonprofit where I teach kids, underprivileged kids how to skateboard, and through that I actually teach them physics, sociology, customer service, cinematography, all the things that they need to actually facilitate their own and better them. So I do all that already. Yeah, through skateboarding.
That's awesome. So I don't think I would eliminate that.
Uh-huh.
You know, because that is part of who you are, and that's kind of the culture.
But I don't want it
you're
to. I
trying
don't want it to be eliminated.
Right.
You know, and like if somebody doesn't skateboard, I don't want them to feel uninvolved.
Right. So you can work on that. How can if I'm talking to somebody who's from the East Coast like me, and I don't know how to skateboard, does that mean I can't be part of your team? So you can just modify it when you're sharing with different people a way that makes
Towards your target
work.
market.
That's great though. Good job, good work. Anybody else want to just share quickly? We won't go through the whole exercise. We have like a minute.
What's your final vision?
Your final, anyone have
If
a
you've got a sentence or a group of sentences, we'd love to hear.
just jump up and say, go ahead.
Yeah, I wrote, I am a world-class entrepreneur, mentoring, motivating, and inspiring others.
Fantastic. Love it. Love it.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Who else?
Anybody else? Come on, you guys, and come on. You guys that say you have it done. John, Dari, Elijah, Disney. Anybody?
Peer pressure. I had a huge roadblock from going from the words into the phrasing. I just need a mental block of putting them together, nothing really meshed. And I had great words, and when I blocked them, like 4 or 5 major themes came out. To get them into any kind of cohesive communication, yeah, I just completely stuck.
We'll keep working on that.
And I would sit down with somebody else
I'd be happy to work on that.
and have them look at it, because a different perspective sometimes just Yeah.
It clicks, yeah. So we can work on that afterwards if you like. Anybody else that has theirs done, real quickly that wants to share? We have a gal in the back standing who's, we'll go, and then we'll come to you.
This is in process. My vision is to surround myself in a physically supportive, loving, self-sustaining community that encourages and manifests abundance, healing, hope, and joy through empowered leadership.
Awesome. Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's very beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. Helping
Yes.
others, helping others become healthy, happy, and financially free through life force products in a fun, exciting, and creative way.
Very nice, very nice. And with happy, I would probably look up in a thesaurus some other words, because happy is so generic. You know what I mean? I would try to find something maybe that
Deeper.
little bit more specific to you. But that's good.
It's a great
That's
start.
great, absolutely. And
Great
like I
start.
said, as you work on this, you will find that you will modify it and change it if you really, and I encourage you to go home and work on this. Oh, we have a handout to give you actually of the steps that we
This-
took you through, so that you can go through again in the privacy of your home and mind.
And you know, steps that you can share with the rest of your team. Now, that's the other thing, is that you can do this exercise with your team, as a team. And, you know, find the words, the phrases that resonate with everyone and create a team vision from that.
And then by being very clear on where you're going, very clear on what that horizon is, you're never really gonna attain it. You guys get that? So make sure you don't put, what people tend to do is put their goals into their visions. Okay, if it's something attainable and tangible, then it's not really a vision. It's always going to be something that you're reaching for, but you never really get there. So make sure if you go through and you see, oh, this is actually a goal, like to have a bed and breakfast is a very specific goal. That is different. That's a goal. That is not a vision. Okay, so try to get the goals out, and you can say, this is my vision to do this, and Life Force is gonna allow me to be able to do that by creating a bed and breakfast. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
But do you see how this can be inspiring? Do you think you could gather some followers and get excited about it? Start sharing it. Start seeing what people respond to you when you start sharing that in conversation. When they say, what do you do? And you say, I help, create happiness, and I forget what your wording were. But you start saying that back instead of, well, I think I'm a network marketer who, But do you see if you can just start sharing that that's who you are, that's your reason, how attractive that can become?
And the more we share it, the more we become that. And the more we become that, the more attractive we become. Thank you.
Thank you.